"Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal." I like to tell people that it's all very well to have well-preserved old buildings to look at, but it's even more charming and interesting to have well-preserved old people to explain them. "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." Why is it important to have something like the American Historical Theater? I refer back to Marcus Tullius Cicero in ancient Rome, who said, "If you are ignorant of your history, you are condemned to live forever as a child." People have no background to draw from, and they're missing a wonderful story, our story of our history and the history of the world. It's fascinating.
I have always been fond of the West African proverb, "Speak softly and carry a big stick and you will go far."
American Historical Theater is a not-for-profit theater company. We are a group of actor historians who actually portray characters from history, folks who have made an impact on our culture, our history, the essential being of who Americans are.
Seems to me you men folk arguing about something the women folk already got, and that's freedom and equality. No one in this here room come out the mother's womb bound and shackled. We was all born free.
It's not just theater, it's not just history. It's a combination of both that leads to the creation of a whole person and a whole story that's not just in a vacuum. There's nothing like hearing about who Annie Oakley really was from Annie Oakley herself.
So I started practicing my show. I'd shoot right-handed, I'd shoot left-handed. I would run and jump over a table, grab a gun, and hit a target before it hit the ground.
Every one of the actor historians that does work with American Historical Theater is deeply engrossed in study on a constant basis. They're constantly reading books, biographies, autobiographies, letters, everything they can get their hands on, and using other means of learning as well, so that they can tell the story. They're not telling about someone, they're telling as someone. Perhaps you have some work to do before you live up to the promise of America. America's goal is hidden between the lines of those 5 words in the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. The first-person interpretation that American Historical Theater engages in is a powerful way to connect not only students, but to reconnect adults to their history in a time when I think a lot of us are concerned that we're losing an understanding and respect for that history.
Ain't I a woman? Ain't I a woman?
The most important lesson that I can say that we give folks is to always remember there were people who came before you. They worked hard to get you where you are, but now you have to keep working to get the next generation and the generation after that to a better place. That's why we look at the history and how folks before us achieved change and hopefully made us a better country and a better people.
We are not building this country of ours for a day. It is for our children, and for their children, and for their children.
No, I always tell folks, anything you want to do, you should be able to do it.
So this freedom you're talking about is something man made up, not God.
On July 4th, 1776, something happened that had never happened before.